are live again. Hello, Ironman and Beyond members, busy high achievers all over the world. We are so excited today. Happy Friday. We do this regular weekly live training to help you in your training. And today we have a very exciting training. Okay. But before that, if you're new to this live training, put hashtag live, or if you're listening or watching this one on a replay, put hashtag replay. If you're new, say, hello, I'm new coach, and I'm super excited to learn a lot. So let's see who's on the call. Vinette is actually looking into
and then, yes.
And then reading who's on the call. Say hello. This is it's a two-way conversation. It's not just the three of us here. We want you to be part of this. This is your training. We want you to take a lot of value, take notes, okay? And especially if this is your year, okay? Let's get a lot of value on this one. All right. Well, let me check who's on the line. Who are the athletes here who likes adventure, you know? Or maybe let's see, what are the fun stuff do you like to do? And you think about Ironman or 70.3. Is this part of your bucket list dreams? Okay. Are you wondering, okay, can I do it? Okay. What if I'm only, like, for example, some athletes, are you one of those athletes who are actually doing, let's say, CrossFit, F45, or there's a Orange Theory?
Yes.
Or doing
spin classes
or yoga spin classes, or are you one of those who's likes to travel, go to Revel? There's several downhill, half marathon, full marathon. What do you do? What do you like to do for fun in sports? Okay. And so if that's you, because you're going to get a lot from today. Okay. And also, have you ever thought, can I actually do my first 70.3, and can I even do my first full Ironman? Because we have our special guest here. Okay. And you're going to learn more about what happened to her. And her name is Casey, and she's right there. We're going to introduce you more about and tell more about her. She's from Arizona. So, but I want to know more about you guys so we can, reformat our training to something where you're going to benefit a lot. Okay.
Yeah. What do you guys, need?
Okay.
Put in where you're at, and then what's going on with you guys as we go through these things.
Okay. All right. So let's look into, I'm going to pull up what we're going to be talking today. All right. It is, oh my God, holy crap. Look at this pace. I can't believe I did a full Ironman. Look at the face. This one is actually after. This one was before. It was our first time to meet in person, Casey.
Yes.
In Arizona.
So fun.
And completing the ultimate bucket list dream of finishing a full Ironman while having fun, despite also working 2 jobs with changing schedule pretty much every week. And you're going to learn about that. You're going to learn a lot about time management here. How does she do this one? So let's get into more details here, the main things. In this live training, we will be discussing how to make Ironman training fit into your busy schedule, even if you have 2 jobs, even though your schedule is changing every week, without giving up fun times with friends, birthday parties, retirement parties, girls' night out, or if you're a guy, guys' night out. Time for yourself, like getting your nails done, hair done, whatever that is. You don't have to give up the things that you like to do or enjoying long vacation and trips. Okay.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think that, hey, once I commit to an Ironman,
I'm going to have to give up everything.
Things are going to go away. All my hobbies will disappear.
But you'll see here, Casey here is very unique individual. What I love is that she stood up to what she enjoys doing, and she communicated. She continues to do that. So let's see what's next. Should you consider doing an Ironman if you get bored easily cycling long or eating the same food during training? What can you do? Okay, we're going to touch base also about that. What if you live in a state that is extremely hot, like Arizona? Okay, as you know, like Arizona can be very hot, and I know there are some athletes in like Texas who also have hard time in terms of weather or humidity as well. Okay, so what can you do? Okay. And then the next thing, how can you gain more speed in swimming, finishing fast? Casey here did rank 25 in her age group on the swimming, very cold open water swim with 118. What did she do? Let's see what she did. Okay. Is it possible and safe to train for and race Ironman when you just recovered from a tibial stress fracture last year, which is the year prior to that? Is it okay? All right. So what do you guys think about it? And are you ready to learn more? And let's see who's on the line.
Let me check if I can see.
All right.
Happening.
Well,
in
I'm
the
really,
group.
yeah. So like while Vinetta's checking, I'm really happy that Casey is available and she's actually jumping from one activity after another. So let's see. We can
Okay,
see.
welcome Nathan.
Nathan, Mary,
here.
Kim.
Hi, Kim, Gwen,
Wow.
Emily. Welcome. Jason's here.
And
Good to have you guys.
glad to have you all. That's why we actually changed our schedule today, because this is the only available time for Casey. And and then after this, she has work, and I hope this one works for you all. And if you know anyone else who have their Ironman or 70.3 or any big dream in your bucket list, you know, in triathlon, tag them, invite them to watch our live training or replay. All right. So without further ado, let's introduce Casey from Arizona.
Hello.
Casey, how
Hi.
you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Looks like you just had some training before this, or is it more of
I'm just hot. I'm nervous.
Well, you were in a hurry earlier. We thought we actually needed to reschedule because you were.
But we made it work, and I'm so happy that we did.
Okay.
Yes.
From what I remember, we met you like last year around June
Mhm.
in Ironman Beyond, which is awesome.
Yep. That's when.
What was happening to you before we actually had the chance to talk at the time?
Walk us through what was going on with your life and triathlon before we talked.
So I had decided the year prior that I was going to do a 70.3 with my best friend. We did the Chattanooga in May, and
Okay.
I just had come from an injury, so I didn't have a lot of time to train. So I just kind of trained on my own.
Gotcha.
And I followed the book. I did what I would say I did the distances and the times it said, but I didn't do what it said exactly. So I could tell I wasn't quite prepared like I should have been. Plus, I had no idea with nutrition and how to deal with all that, like when I did it.
Gotcha.
So once I did it and then I decided to do the full, I was like, I have to get a coach.
Okay. But did you want to do an Ironman already back then? Or is it something like you've been wanting to do it, but you don't know when you're going to do it?
Yes, I just didn't think I had the time
Okay, time.
in my current situation. So I kept putting it off.
How long has it been since you've been putting it off? It's in your bucket list.
Probably 8 years.
Wow.
8
years.
Oh, yeah, I bet it's 8 or 9 years.
That's pretty long. Okay, so now was the 70.3 Chattanooga, was that more of an idea of your best friend or both of you guys?
It was hers, and then I was just like, I'm gonna do it because I did a couple triathlons before that, just smaller.
The sprint,
shorter.
Olympic sprint. Did you do an
Sprint.
Olympic distance before 70.3, or you just jumped into Oh no, not at all. So
Nope, I did a
just
couple
rolling.
sprints and that was it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Nice.
And
Yep.
then you mentioned at the time you were doing some half marathons already, right? And that's your thing.
Yes.
You like
Yeah.
were you doing also full marathon then, or is it how many marathons have you done?
I have only done one marathon, and I told myself I would never do another one.
That's it. Okay. All right. So, but then you want the Ironman, and marathon is a requirement. But
Yeah.
you doing half marathon? Why? And what kind of half marathon do you usually do?
It just depends on what's like around. I like to travel, so it was fun to find different half marathons and be able to travel to go to them. And I feel like it doesn't take up your whole day. I'm not I'm not super sore after or anything like that.
Do you do that with friends also, or just on your own, or just whichever?
Both, but
both.
mostly friends.
Okay, all right. So let me see this one. And you mentioned about the injury. What were the injuries that you're dealing with before that 70.3 wherein you trained on your own?
I had gotten like a tibia plateau, like crush fracture back in November. And this was after we had already signed up for the 70.3 in May. So I wasn't able to do anything lower body for a while.
Wow.
And no surgery or anything recommended. They just physical therapy, all that kind of stuff. But it took a while to get to where it needed to be.
So let me clarify that. So did you say that you signed up on 70.3 Chattanooga and then you injured yourself on November? Or is that? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. So I think we signed up in September.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
2021. And then I got hurt in November of 2021.
Gotcha.
But you didn't give it up. You were
No.
like, I'm gonna do it.
So
So I started training around mid-February, like so about 3 months.
Okay. 3 months training. And how did it go with your cycling, with your swimming, and your running on that 70.3 Chattanooga?
The actual race?
Yeah.
The actual race, my swim was great.
Cool.
I pretty fast swimmer anyway, but like I thought I did pretty well. And then the bike, I ended up getting way too overheated and didn't have the right nutrition, anything like that. So then I felt I made it through. There were some times where I was like, oh man, I thought my leg was gonna cramp up because of lack of nutrition, lack of electrolytes probably. It was hot, humid. I'm not used to the humidity.
Yeah.
And then we went, and then when the run started, I guess wasn't quite ready for the hills. And then when the run started, it was even hotter and humid.
Yeah. It's humid. And it's in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Summer.
And I almost quit during that run. I was about 2 miles in and I was like, I don't think this is worth it. So, but I didn't.
Yeah. So were you walking, jogging? Were you running on that half marathon there?
So I started with a jog and then a walk, and then I ended up actually running into an older gentleman, and I call him my angel because he stopped and started talking to me, and then me and him ended up walking almost the entire half marathon together.
Oh, good.
And then I ran like maybe the last half mile, if that.
Oh, yes. The photo at the finish. Right?
Yes.
All right. So, well, let's say anyone here who have had just recently, like data 70.3, how did it go for you? Can you relate to what Casey had shared, or did you crush your 70.3? How was it? We want to know what your race last year.
Yes. Who also has challenges when it gets hot, or who also has challenges when it gets to the run part and it starts to get hard to run? Actually.
Maybe you were also in Chattanooga, something like that. Humid,
the hills.
Yeah. Or like, do you guys get some friends during the run as well? Just like, or find an angel. So Casey, so when after that, and you still thought about your Ironman even after your experience? You met the cutoff time, which is 8:30, right? It was below, so which is good. Congratulations on that. But after that, you also went to Colorado for another half marathon.
Yes.
You just like to travel because it's already planned out. So when we talk, I'm not sure, remind me, were you 100% wanting to do an Ironman last year after that?
I mean, I didn't think I was going to for years.
Oh, okay.
And then I had some conversations with my boyfriend and some others, and we said, let's do it. So
wow.
Did you have any hesitancy, or it's like, okay, I'm just gonna do it?
I mean, there's always going to be that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always gonna be the hesitance, but no, once I would like decided, I was like, okay, let's do this. Like it's time.
All right. Here, it's more of like the commitment, just like, okay,
Yep.
I'm waiting.
Yep. I was
Um,
already halfway trained. I did at least
Sure.
half of it already, so I knew I could do half. So I just to build on top of that then.
okay. All right.
And what was it about talking to us and about Feisty Fox coaching that made you decide to even get coaching?
Well, just I liked how you guys ran everything, and just I felt like we were engaged with each other, and how you keep on top of us on how we are training. You like the communication, so there's always that communication aspect, which I like. What else was there? I know there was other stuff.
Well, we're gonna talk
um
more about like what we did in your training as well,
yeah,
because you know it's not straightforward. I mean, you have how many jobs during the training year? Is
two.
it still two? And then how is it for you? You mentioned it
I mean,
changing
that was rough.
schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just changed my schedule again, so it was a little rough. But
Yes.
yeah, I also really liked the social aspect of
Okay.
this group as well, because like there might be something I don't understand or that's bothering me, but we're part of this huge Facebook group with all these other athletes, and they could be going through the same thing, and I might get an opinion or how they dealt with it, or how, and I just really like that part.
Gotcha.
Love it. And what was it that how come, I mean, you just had done the 70.3. Like what was it that made you like, oh, okay, why not just do it yourself? Like again, full
Or
Ironman.
train with your friends,
Yeah.
because you did it the first
Um
3, you finished it, right?
Yeah.
right.
You were successful.
Yeah, I mean, my friend had a coach for the 70.3, and she
Oh, okay.
kicked butt. So
Okay.
I feel like that one, I just needed more help and guidance. Like I needed more guidance on what to do, how to execute nutrition, water, speed, working on just
Gotcha.
getting faster, all that kind of stuff. So that's why I chose to get a coach. So
Okay. Let me see. Well, since you mentioned about nutrition, I'm gonna show some of your, like interaction with us, because everyone, like she finished. So let me show you again. Congratulations for your full Ironman. She actually ranked 25th in her age group in swimming.
Yes.
With a time of 1 hour 18:43. First Ironman in Arizona. Okay. And so let me ask you, and you also, like there are some parts wherein you were posting videos, something like this. I know you mentioned that you're pretty good in swimming already, but is there any difference of you like posting something video on this one with us? Did that help you on your swimming in terms of the way
oh
you
yeah,
were swimming?
yes. So like I liked that feedback. So like I did that, and then you guys were able to help correct little things for me that were that just needed to be corrected. So I would say I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have a coach, you
Gotcha.
know.
And what difference did that make? Did that make you faster, or what was the difference?
I mean, I was definitely already like I said, a decent swimmer, but I think it definitely helped with my technique, and that helped me get faster. And then just changing those little things, and then also like the words of advice that you gave to
Yeah.
us prior to the Ironman, like own your lane, and
Yeah.
I owned my lane.
That was an interesting story. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I remember that.
Well, first of all, I was freezing, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But I was just like, I got to get this done. And I could tell that I followed that piece of advice like to a T, because I wasn't stopping. I just kept going, if you were in my way, I was pretty much swimming over you. So sorry, but not sorry.
So that's one of the things that you would want to put on your notes, on your lane, no matter
Yes.
what, and just so to get out of it, because it was cold for you. I know it was like under 60 in Arizona last year. So it was cold for you and you wanted to just get out of it.
Yeah.
Even though you are a decent swimmer, you're just like, I just want to get out of it.
Right.
How was it for you in the swimming, like the temperature? Considering
I wasn't expecting that at all,
Okay.
but I
Gotcha.
survived. I had a few issues where I thought my legs might cramp up. Sorry, this thing just fell. My legs might cramp up, but then I would start kicking a little bit more and they came out of it. So
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So well, you did mention also with the nutrition. Okay. You had no idea with the nutrition. Do you mind just giving us like what did you do in 70.3 in terms of your nutrition? Like
I had water. Yeah, I had water and I had what's it called? I can't even think of what's it called right now. The
gel,
the
some
powder, but I can't think what it was. But
okay.
I had both of those. Tailwind. There we go.
Okay, Tailwind.
So I had
Okay.
tailwind and water, and then I would stop at I didn't stop at the first aid station, but I stopped at the second one because I refilled with ice water and whatnot.
Gotcha.
And then I think I had some Cliff Blocks and maybe a couple gels, but I don't think I ate it all. I probably barely ate any of it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I wanted to share to everyone because as you know, like in social media, you would usually see some like, congratulations, like everyone's happy, but then, like not a lot of people really know what's behind it. Like, how did they do it? So this is the time actually what we're going to show you of like some of the behind the scenes of like you saw about the swim. Part of it is there's feedback. Okay. And then the next one is also, like what does an athlete do to dial in the nutrition? Okay. And part of it is Casey had to make an effort to actually give feedback, to know what she was drinking and eating during the training. So like this is one of the milestone for Casey. First 100 miles, over 100 miles on the bike. Coach, I cannot believe it. I did it. She was so happy about this one. But at the same time, she was very detailed. Okay. She was very detailed. She said about the breakfast, the time. So she was being very mindful. And then she told us about her back. And then a lot of this one was nutrition. So when you're doing this one, were you doing this one during training, Casey? In terms
of what?
Like when you were training on your own, were you doing this one on your own?
No,
not at all. So it's just like only during training with us when you're like more aware and mindful.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. And
I was definitely eating and drinking way less than I needed to be.
Gotcha. Wow. All right.
So how was your nutrition in that full Ironman compared to the previous?
The 70.3.
7.3.
It was definitely better. I know I drank a lot more. During the bike portion, I know I didn't eat like I should have. It was more of I just wasn't hungry because I was freezing.
Gotcha.
Still it took me a whole loop to get like warm again, but I did drink the Tailwind and water like constantly. So that helped, but so I was at least getting some. I just wasn't getting as much as I should have been. But it was different because in the 70.3, I didn't have pretty much any. So
got it. A lot of this one, we were talking about like what works for you in terms of the nutrition wise. How did that help you? Like getting the idea and actually getting the feedback? Like I was like looking into your cadence as well. Did you know all of this one before? Like the cadence, nutrition, how to recover fast? Like you must be hungry. I said, update your spreadsheet. No, not at all. Never did.
No.
Okay. So before you were just pedaling.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Go to one distance to another. Okay. So everyone, those are the things that we want to make sure that you go address in your training. Okay. The nutrition part. And actually we do have a training in Ironman and Beyond. You can access it for free. Just put #nutrition, because you're on that one. You will learn, like the timing, what you want to know, timing and the what, okay, and the amount. And one of the things that Casey actually, started learning is how to put together a spreadsheet like this. And so this one, you did this one, Casey. So you'd start learning how to put together this spreadsheet. Was it hard for you in the beginning, or you got used to it already? Or in the beginning, what is it for you?
Well, it started off a lot smaller than that one in the beginning. So it was a little easier to figure out, but I feel like I like to be organized. So having that out in front of me and actually writing it out and putting it in there helped me to understand it better and to be on top of it, like what I needed to do. So
here, I'm just going to make it bigger for everyone. I know it's pretty small, but basically what we help our athletes is step by step teach them, okay, so that they can be independent. So it's not always us just spoon feeding all the time, because we want them to be independent. We want them to actually do it on their own. And actually, I think you've never really used the spreadsheet on your Mac. And that was your first time. And so just do what you can, and we'll see what we can do. And then it looks like you got used to it. And then so here, she basically put here the before swim, transition on the bike every hour, the servings, calories, carbs, sodium, potassium. So those things that you would want to address that one. And every athlete is different. And I think one of the things is that we want to get you something like wherein you're not feeling like it's boring, because you like it too fun. So is that something that you were able to work out, in terms of testing what works for you?
Yep.
What have you incorporated in your to make it not boring? Let's give some ideas for athletes. What so you have put?
Peanut butter jellies.
Okay, peanut butter jellies.
I did a lot of like the Cliff Blocks, so like gummy bears, dried fruit.
Yeah. And how was that for you in training? Is that much better than just having your tailwind all the time?
Yeah, that helped a lot, I feel like. And some of the gels were super good, but like it was just the same thing sometimes. So
especially every training.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that it was getting boring. The nutrition is like, I'm always eating the same thing. It gets like, I
know. I was like, I'm like, what else can I do?
Especially in Arizona. Yeah. It really gets hot on cycling. So everyone,
so then everything's warm.
Yeah. So how about you guys? What do you guys eat? Give us ideas. Like I'm sure a lot of athletes are looking into your comments. We want to have ideas. And because Casey wanted like, okay, coach, what else can I eat? All right, good stuff.
Stephanie is wanting to get a hands on her on the
nutrition. Okay, we'll give that to you. You'll learn a lot on that one because we break it down. There are other things that I wanted to bring up. So
actually I want to mention something about the nutrition too, because I would write it all out and then we would go through it and it's like, oh hey, you need to add a little bit extra here because otherwise you're not going to make it to here. Like you're not going to feel as good. So I liked that. I got really good feedback.
Good. Love it.
Okay.
Let me see. Now on the other one also, you're the type that you just want to have fun.
I do.
So one of the things that I love about Casey is that she's very good in communication. She's very organized. So in the plan, she would tell us ahead of time. So her schedule would change every week. And seriously, like it would change. There's no pattern. I was trying to get some pattern, but there's no pattern. What do you do, Casey? If you mind sharing?
I'm a law enforcement officer, and then I'm also an F45 coach.
There you go. Okay. So it keeps changing. And then besides that it's changing, she also likes to take care of herself, do the fun stuff with our friends. And sometimes I would see their birthday parties with friends, but she would tell me the times or retirement party, and then the next thing, girls' night out. Okay. All right. So I got used to it. And then, or nails done. Like she really puts it in the schedule, or hair done, or massage. Like I see like, oh, okay. And then how is it for you? Like in terms of how we were incorporating the training. Was it working for you? Is that something that
Oh,
easy
yeah.
to follow?
Oh yeah, super easy. So I mean, obviously I put all as much as my schedule as I could in there so then you guys could work around that. Like, and some days were heavier because I didn't have as much planned or work.
Sure.
And then other days were lighter. So, because I had too many things going on. So I think that helped, but it usually got about an hour to 2 hours a day, depending on the day of workouts. So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
pretty awesome. I feel like that's really cool to think that. I mean, you had 2 jobs and you were able to make Ironman training work.
Yeah.
I see her photos of her partying. This one is an Ironman training. Let me tell you. So May is the 70.3. If you think about it, June, July, August, September, October, November, basically just 6 months. And Casey has not done a century ride at all yet in life, right? And she has
Right.
only done one full marathon. And she has never done an Olympic triathlon distance at the time. Okay, what else? And swimming, she, like she actually say like, that's too long. I get bored. I get bored. They always say that. And then, so like, wow. And then now she has 6 months and she's still able to attend all those fun stuff. And this is actually one of the things that she was away from her training. And this one is 2 months prior to your Ironman. But let me just show to you. So she went to Yosemite for 10 days. And this is what she was doing. All right. She said, sorry, I've been MIA, not a lot of service. I've been doing this. So she was actually climbing. And this was in 10 days. This one is 2 months prior to Ironman Arizona. How do you like that you were able to do all these things?
I loved it. Like I didn't have to like put my life on hold. I was still able to get things done and still complete my tasks. So
it's amazing. I mean, like, because there are some athletes here who would want to be just like the way you did your training, like and you're still having fun, you're still attending parties. Like, what would you say, like, what are the skills or character, or like, what are the things that you think is very necessary for an athlete to be able to do something like what you do, like 2 jobs changing? What are those things? Maybe top 3 things you think?
Consistency, being consistent in your workouts, even like if that means you have to wake up a little earlier than to do it, time management, huge. I felt like I did a pretty good job with that. And then the organization of that, just getting my schedule organized as well as I could, as far in advance as I could.
Okay. So time management, and then also organization, consistency. There were times that in Arizona, it's just so hot. What did you have to do to still get into your training to be still consistent? Because you said consistent is important.
Yeah, so like with the bike, if it was too hot, like I'd have to do an indoor cycle session. So I would do that, or if I had to run on the treadmill, or I have to get up super, super early before the sun came up to get like runs in and stuff like that.
How early would that usually when you did that last year?
Like 4 or 5 in the morning.
4 or 5, okay.
Because I know I swam a couple times too outside, like 5 in the morning.
Gotcha. Because I was in Arizona during the hot weather and I was running. It was hard. And just imagine like long distance training, by the time like 9 or 8, it's already hot. So if you guys, so those are the ways. So like how hard or difficult was it for you to wake up that like 4 or 5 a.m.? Is it just more about like commitment, strong mindset? Like
it was, it was definitely commitment and strong mindset. Like at the time I was getting up that early for work. So, however, it was harder on my weekends because those are my days to sleep in, but I couldn't because I had to get those training sessions in because it was too hot otherwise during the day.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, I just admire that because, I would imagine that a lot of people would be like, okay, no, I cannot do a full Ironman because it's too hard. I mean, how am I going to do the training? Right.
Yeah,
But
you have to make it work.
that was not a thing for you. You just made it
Well,
work.
Yep.
Okay. How about the what are the things that you did for your, like you said, you had some fracture or injury on your tibia last November only. And then I know we had some trouble on your, in the beginning, we couldn't even run
Yes.
in the beginning. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
Like,
it
okay,
was
what else is
hurting.
there to do?
Yeah.
So like, what do you think has helped you during the training?
Oh, all the extra body maintenance and the mobility that you guys provided for me, the extra yoga sessions. Like I
Okay.
started to really get into all those restorative yogas. I still
Yeah.
do. Like I love those. Yeah, but I think just having those extra body maintenance and mobility every day that it was hard in the beginning, but I think I became a little bit more consistent with it. I'm trying to get back into that consistency of doing that daily, but I think that's what really helped. I could tell like my body started to adapt better and less injury because
Okay.
of that.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned about body maintenance. Everyone, we actually have, we do have a training for that also available if you want to check that out. She mentioned about body maintenance, and basically, we don't just give plans. Okay. So like, if you want to know more about body maintenance, it's free access. It's in the group. Body maintenance is being proactive, getting, addressing the weak areas and making it stronger, before you get even injured. So for Casey, she's okay, but sometimes she feels discomfort, she feels pain, and we don't want to just ignore it. It's not just about pushing through the pain. And I wanted to share also. So yeah, put hashtag body maintenance if you want to check that out, so we can share that training for you. I know we said hashtag nutrition for the nutrition earlier. This is one of those things, Casey. So we started June, end of June, and you got already like in 2 months your first Olympic triathlon. And actually,
Yes.
you did, and this one is in elevation. This one has mountains. How was that for you? Like considering
that was tough.
you did it first. Yeah.
That was really tough.
Good training?
The swim was the hardest.
Swim was the hardest.
Swimming in elevation is completely different than what I was swimming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
You actually, I think you still did well, 33 minutes for that. And then you continue to do it. And this one is Casey still continuing to do a half marathon. This one's very recent. That was, I think, just last weekend.
Last weekend. Yep.
Yeah. She was running under the rain. She was like, this is a BS. Who does this in the rain? I was saying BS, why was I doing this? Who does this? But you still do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you look, I love the photo. You look so happy there.
Yeah.
Everyone always says stuff like that because they're always like, how do you see the photographer? I said, I'm always looking for him because I like to be funny and smile and laugh and do funny jokes. I don't know.
Like this.
Yeah.
This one is after Ironman.
Yeah. I mean, I told you, like when I'm doing this kind of stuff, I make it fun. I probably talked more than I ran during the marathon. So
this one, and then this one, and then come back. So tell us, like when you finished this full Ironman, what did your friends say? Because did they think that you're gonna finish it? How did they think about you? Like, is there any change at all when you finished the full Ironman?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I wouldn't say, I don't think anyone had doubts about me finishing. So I thought that was cool. Everyone was in my corner, but now they're all like, she's an Ironman, or like someone will hear something on the radio and they'll be like, my friend's an Ironman. And like, I think that was really cool and fun.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I know you're like the top, like, one is get it done and move on.
Yes.
One and done.
One and done. Yeah.
You did the full marathon, one and done, but you did another second full marathon in an Ironman. So full Ironman is one and done. but you
Yeah.
are continuing to still train for fun. Actually, when you were doing the full Ironman, you were socializing during your run portion on the full marathon.
The entire time.
So you were trying to meet other people during the full
Oh
marathon.
yeah. I hang out, talk to people, talk to the aid station crew, the volunteers, because that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it worth it.
Awesome. That's
So
awesome.
Yeah, I remember you saying you were even climbing up the hill on your bike. You were talking to some guy.
oh yeah. The last like 5 miles up the hill, we just sat next to each other and we're chatting. We're like, yeah, we're good.
That's so
It made
fun.
it made it go by way faster. So
Nice.
So it looks like you always find a way to have fun. Everyone, you guys getting a lot in this. So Ironman is not just about always sacrifice. So as you can see, and you don't have to like give away your, like, oh, I don't have time anymore. Can I still do that? Or am I still able? Am I going to be able to do an Ironman if this blank, whatever that is in the past? Because right now, as you guys know, Casey just only did sprint. That's it. And one full
Yeah.
marathon, not even cycling much. Okay.
no, cycling is like brand new to me.
And she finished the 70.3, and she did within the cutoff time, right? But she's still, I just really want to get it done. Who here has a bucket list on Ironman, or even just a 70.3? Because those are big
Yes.
goals.
Who
It
is
does
aiming?
commitment.
Who is aiming for that bucket list Ironman?
Yeah.
Let's see some hands.
How long has it been? Is it also 8 years or 10 years like Casey?
Yes.
Now that you finish your full Ironman this year, okay, how does it feel, Casey?
It feels great. I'm
How was it?
I'm happy. It's done. I can say I did it. I don't know. It felt great doing it, minus the bike portion in the beginning when I was freezing. But all the other parts were great. And I had a lot of support. I had great help from you all. You guys supported me throughout the whole process and helped guide me to what I needed to do. So
Good.
I feel good.
Awesome. Well, I'm curious, what do you think made the biggest difference by you working together with the Feisty Fox team?
Having the communication and the consistency with you guys, and not letting up on me either. So like, hey, like, I noticed you haven't like posted in a while, or hey, you missed that workout, everything cool, like all that kind of stuff. But also giving me grace when things like that happen, because stuff happens, and you can't get it all in. It's not, that's part of it too. You guys weren't like pushy with it, you were like, you got to do what you got to do. You still have a life and you need to live, but let's try to get as much as we can and get those primary workouts done.
Yeah.
So I thought
like
that was great.
I think this is a good message for everybody. You cannot get everything in, and it's okay.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
okay. You do what you gotta do.
Right.
Cool. Well, everyone, are you guys taking notes? So for those who just called in, like just want to flash this one, you can watch the replay. I know that actually Casey has to go, but I want to say thank you to Casey. So everyone, this is what we do. Casey, you're just starting. And I know you have more goals. You're going for an ultra running this year. You're in Arizona. You're going to explore more trails there. And then I know you also have a St. George relay.
Yeah, possibly. Yep, we're going to try.
Okay. Well, everyone, this is what we do. Okay, in Feisty Fox Coaching, we help athletes just like Casey, who like, I am ready. I've been wanting to do this one. But I need help. I don't want to be like the way I was in 70.3. I want to know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I want someone who can actually be with me together. Okay. Or like, for example, if you just need guidance, okay, coach, what do I do now? Okay. We do have that put hashtag game plan, like what we did with Casey. We just basically talk. Casey, how badly do you want the Ironman? We asked Casey, and then so like she said, stuff that she's going through. We'll get to know more about Casey, and then from there we can tell you the next steps, and if it's the right time. Okay, because we're not going to be pushy. We want to make sure that we give you the help or give you the free training resources. So if you want that call, it's a free call. We don't even sell anything at all, but it's you put hashtag game plan below, and let's get your goal, your dream goal this year.
All yes. Right? And then we do these live trainings
every week. Every week. Today, I'm glad that you went through. Thank you so much for your time, Casey, because I know Casey,
thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, before we let you go, just one last question. So, let's say the old Casey, back in May, around May, after finishing your 70.3. You're talking to her right now. Now that you're an Ironman finisher, right? what would you say to that old Casey? Because I know some athletes here can relate to where you're at. Changing schedule, very busy, but really, 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 really want it badly. Know. So what would
you can do it? You can do it. Put your mind to it and grit down and go. You can do it. Go.
Own your lane. All right.
Own your lane.
That's what she did. Get it done. Go for it. So that's what she did. What? I'm gonna do it this year, no matter what. I'm gonna wait.
Do it.
I'm committed. Well, really been a pleasure.
So proud of you, Casey.
Thank you guys.
Ironman.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, we're very excited to see more.
Yeah.
And have fun at your job tonight. Don't work too hard.
All right, thanks. I'll try not to.
Everyone, if you get a lot of value here, let's put hashtag value and let's say thank you to Casey. Casey, we know you're busy, but we appreciate you. And thanks for all the things that you've shared here. Thank you. And thanks everyone. Till next time. If you guys need any help, just post in the group and we'll do our best to answer your questions, give you the free training resource that we already have. Till later. Have a great weekend. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.